How is everybody doing on this Friday night? What's up, TJ? What is going on? How about the Phillies? Can the Phillies get some love? Which is going to bring me to my very first topic. Do sports players get together when they hate their coach? And I'm talking NFL, NBA, all of the big ones. Do they get together and say, guys, let's just keep losing? We hate our coach and we want him out of town. The Phillies. Asher, I have a good question for you. I don't know if you just heard what I said. I need to know you guys' opinion. Do professional players making millions of dollars, when they don't like their coach, do they hold a little private meeting? Maybe they all go out to dinner. Maybe a little understood thing. They all go out to a restaurant and they agree. We want to get our coach fired. Let's just keep losing on purpose. The Phillies lost 8 or 9 games in a row. They were horrible. Finally, they fired the coach, Rob Thompson. They haven't lost since. Now, come on, guys. An ice cold Philadelphia Phillies all of a sudden are winning every game. Yeah, they play worse. So my question to you guys, give me some examples where it's possible the team played bad repetitively until the coach got fired. Can we think of any examples off the top of your head? I mean, I'm a Philly guy, so what about your sports teams? Do they just lose until a coach is fired? How about the NFL? Who got fired? Can anybody think where the guys get together who are supposed to be good teams, really good ones, who just keep losing until that coach got fired and then they got better all of a sudden? Which leads me to my second question tonight. Raheem's manners. What's Raheem's manners? What that is. My second question: could sports games be fixed? Could. Now, I'm not talking about, they caught the couple guys here and there. Is it possible that every game is scripted? My brother believes it. Oh, the Falcons coach, is that his name? Raheem Manners? Sorry, I don't follow the Falcons. So, yes, I mean, it makes you wonder when they want to get rid of a coach, do they get together? And all of a sudden, a great team is not winning at all. And they just want the coach fired. In the Phillies case, okay, Rob Thompson, the Phillies losing 8 in a row. And then all of a sudden, now they can't lose a game. Come on now. Just because Rob Thompson left, all of a sudden, the guys who couldn't hit the side of a barn are all hitting. Like the old Phillies. Do they get together to get rid of a manager? Does it happen in other sports? And the other question, is it possible that sports are fixed? I mean, you got thousands of people watching, thousands at the stadium. If you're telling me that a game is scripted, first of all, who's all in on it? Are the referees in on it? Asher says it also has something to do with the practice of the coach is running bad drills. They can't practice right. Well, that again reminds me of the Philadelphia Eagles a few years ago. Anybody remember Chip Kelly? Chip Kelly was the head coach of the Oregon Ducks college football team. They bring in Chip Kelly, and Chip Kelly did something that I never saw before with a coach, and he ran the 2 minute drill the whole game. And it was frustrating. The players hated it. They hated Chip Kelly. Here he was, a tremendously successful coach of the Oregon Ducks football team. And he comes into Philadelphia and makes the offensive line. Nobody gets a break. He tried to condition everybody to be, his philosophy was we're just going to out condition everybody. We're going to run down the field, run, 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 no breaks, no breaks, go, 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 go. That was Chip Kelly, and he got himself right out of a job. And the team was horrible, great players. Chip Kelly out of Philadelphia. I think he had 4 wins or something the last season he was here. So, yeah, I mean, that makes me think of that example. Are there other examples? And what about sports being fixed? Hello, TJ. How are you? TJ, if you're going to join this live stream family, we want to know your age, your gender, and what state or country you're from so we know a little bit about you. Last night was crazy, guys. Who was here for that? Man, we got real last night. It was an adult chat. Um, so what I do, guys, after the chat's over, I put all the topics right in the title. So the title of this video will be whatever we talk about. That'll be the title. As soon as it's over, Bruce is going to make a thumbnail for my top 3 fans, just to let you know. Now, Asher, you were asking me when I'm going live. I purposely schedule the live streams right away. Like when this is over, I'm going to schedule tomorrow's and then I adjust it throughout the day. So I'll probably start out at like 10 p.m. I'll put down. And if I'm going to be late, I'll adjust it. If I'm going to be early, I'll adjust it. But guys, look for the upcoming stream. I just title it tonight's, next live stream. That's what I put out there, next live stream, and I put the time. So you guys don't have to ask me if you go out. But Asher, you said you couldn't find where it said upcoming stream. It should be right in the live section on my channel, and you guys can actually text me there. We can text back and forth until I go live. Okay. Did you eventually find it? Because I saw you were waiting. And you guys can hit the notify me, and you guys will get all kind of emails and everything when I do go live, whether I go live early or late. So look for that, guys. But back to my question: sports. You missed all the streams are recorded, guys. If you're new to the live stream family here, I go live every single night, somewhere around 10 o'clock Eastern. Asher says he's going to leave and then join right back. Well, no, not now, Asher, because uh, I didn't schedule it yet. I am so handsome. I agree with that person. Constantine the Great. You are great, Constantine. Anybody that calls me handsome is great. Thank you, Constantine. I'm also 55 years old. I'm old enough to be your big brother. No, you should have seen me in my 20s. Man, guys, let me tell you, getting old sucks. I was the body guy with the hair and the looks and the pretty boy, and I walk into the club and I'm the guy all the girls were looking at. I miss those days. I really do. But then you go get married. You know, the one thing I do want to talk about, I look great. Thank you, Asher. Um, I know you, Asher, you're young, and most of you guys are young out there, but I want to tell you about the phases of life. A lot of you are in your 20s, but guys, especially guys, I want you to pay attention to this. Girls, their timeline is they go to college, they sow their wild seeds, and then they are ready, guys, to settle down. They may go through a little clubbing phase, but guys, when they hit their mid 20s, that's an average. Girls are ready to settle down. All right? They're ready. They're looking for a husband. They're looking for a husband. They're not going out like guys do. You know what guys are mostly looking for in that time of their lives? A lot different than girls are. And this is an average, it's a generalization. But when women hit that age of 25, there's your they want a husband. They want a family. So guys, keep that in mind when you're in your mid 20s. That a woman in their mid 20s are totally differently wired than the men. And Asher, for you, for young guys like Asher's age, Asher, there's different phases of life. But just know that girls are more mature than guys. Okay, so keep that in mind. On average, I noticed that my 14-year-old is very, very mature for her age. And it's very interesting. It is. But again, everybody's different. These are generalizations. But and then you get married. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you what to look forward to when you get married, especially when you have a child. Asher, right now you're 12. You're going to go through some phases, Asher. You're going to go and become a young man, and you're going to be a teenager, and you're going to get interested in girls, and then probably go to college, job, going out after work, having a great time, meeting people and all that. And then you're probably going to end up in a relationship and settle down and get married. And then the child. But let me tell you, because my nephew, it hit him like a ton of bricks because it hit me like a ton of bricks. When you have that first child, at that moment, when I had my son Jaden, I was 36. And up until 36, I lived for me. Me. It all stops. When that little baby comes into this world, everything changes for you. You no longer live for you. You live for that baby. You don't sleep when you want to sleep anymore. No, 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 no. Your sleep schedule will revolve around that child. You don't live for you anymore. Forget about watching your favorite TV shows. Forget about just, hey, I feel like going out tonight. Let me go here and let me go there. That all stops. It all revolves around that child. When you eat something, that child is going to be watching you. You got to make sure that that child is fed before you feed yourself. You're going to be more worried about feeding that child than you are yourself. Everything, your money. You no longer spend all your money on you. You spend it on your children, unless you're a deadbeat. And if I'm talking to any deadbeats out there, you really need to self analyze what's going on because that child needs you so badly, especially from the ages of 0 to 6. That's when a child needs both parents in their lives. And you know what a deadbeat is? A deadbeat is somebody that's doing the opposite of what I'm saying. The deadbeat doesn't want to give up that life that they live for themselves. That's what a deadbeat is. The deadbeat wants to ignore the child and just keep living for them. And you're going to become a deadbeat, and your life is going to be miserable, and you're going to miss out on a beautiful life. A beautiful life. My nephew, his mother left when he was extremely young, 6 months. She missed out on an amazing human being. Me, my mother, and my brother, we've raised my nephew, my brother's son, and now he's 35, but we've raised him. The mother took off, married another guy, went off to Florida, and missed out on a wonderful life. A wonderful life. So, parents out there, if you're watching, just know how badly that child is like a sponge. For the first 6 years, you are going to be their world. You know what I loved? For the first 6 years of my kids' lives, I loved after dinner. I loved after. Now, I told you, you're not living for you anymore. After dinner, the days of just sitting on the couch and putting on your favorite shows are over when you have a child, especially you have multiple children. But what I loved is I got into my kids' world. We went up into their bedroom. I had three of them eventually, and we had so much fun. So much fun. I enjoyed it so much. Uh, I did videos. I did tons and tons of videos. I wanted their lives on video. We did video. Now, they had a YouTube channel, and that YouTube channel was extremely successful, over 10,000 subscribers. But they don't even know the reason I started that YouTube channel. I started it so I would have videos of them. Yes, videos of them. Now the channel's there. I don't touch it anymore. COPPA came in. If you guys know about COPPA, Children's Protection, they sued YouTube, and YouTube made it all these restrictions. They took away the commenting. So the 10,000 subscribers are still there. I think they got up to 11,000. Um, we went down to Florida and we did a 2,000 subscriber trip. But these when the kids were extremely young, all the way up until they hit that age. When they get to the age about the tweens, that's when it changes. And they started hiding their face from the camera. Uh-oh, someone's coming down here. Who's coming down? My son. Jaden, I'm telling everybody about your channel when you guys were little. Can you remember how many subscribers did you have? Well, I wasn't going to say the name of the channel. He just did. I don't think they heard you. But Jaden, am I right that after dinner we would go up into the bedroom and have tons of fun? Yes. And we had lots and lots of fun. So if I'm speaking to some parents, Asher, hold on, I know you're younger. I'm speaking to the parents out there. Get into your kids' world. Now we go back to the conversations a couple nights ago about the Columbine shooting. And I'm only bringing that up. Not we're not going to go back to all the killing and all that, which we got into a deep conversations. There was a police officer, but no. The point of I'm bringing Columbine up is the parents. Eric Harris and Dennis Klebold had very nice parents. These kids that pulled off one of the worst tragedies in the history of mankind had nice parents. It's not about being nice parents. It's not. You got to get into your kid's world. They were not part of their child's world. I'm not blaming them for what these kids did. But what I am saying, had they been in their kid's world from the beginning, there's no way that would have happened. There's no way. These kids had written all over their books all kind of demonic things, and it was so obvious. Yes, they're nice parents. Yes, they're nice people. There's a difference. Were they in the kids' world? because those first 6 years and 7 years of a child's life, they crave attention like a dog craves food. They crave it. If you starve them of that, all this anger builds up. It builds up inside of them, and that's what Dennis Klebold, Eric Harris, or Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, they just had this built up, whatever it was inside of them, and they were very nice parents. I saw the documentaries. I study these things, it's just something I like to do because I like to learn, but not only learn, I wanna know how it could have been prevented. How you start by getting in their world. So me and my kids, you saw Jaden, we used to go either down here and play or up in the bedroom, and I was there all night, guys. From after dinner, I did all the baths, the primary, the most of them. I wouldn't even let my wife do it because I wanted to be in my kids so in their world so bad that I wanted to do all the baths and the bedtime routines. We did Bible stories at night. You know what they loved about the Bible stories? I used to act them out. There were some kids books, kids Bible books, and acting, and they were enthralled. I'd get up like I was on stage, and as with the book in my hand, as I'm reading these stories to the kids about like Daniel in the lion's den, and I'm acting it out. That you're engaging with your kids. That's what they need. They needed the kids that did Columbine, the parents, there's no way they were in those kids' worlds because they would have seen all over their books in their rooms what they were writing down in their books. So that's a little overview of life, guys. I'm 55 years old now. I'm trying to pass on my experiences. A lot of the reason that I'm doing these videos is to pass on my experiences to you to prepare you for the future. Asher, you're 12 years old. 12 years old, you're in a completely different phase of life than the people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. So for you, Asher, your life is just beginning. But I want to let you know where you're headed and to think about where you're going. If you start early, start thinking about things early. If one of the greatest things you can do is learn from other humans. Pay attention. What's coming down the road for Asher? Asher's 12. Soon he's going to be hitting high school. Then he's got to start to pick a college if you're going to do that. So, Asher, for you, that's what's coming up in the near future. For Asher's age, reputation and how good do you play sports? Are you cool? That stuff matters to Asher right now. But to adults, could mean nothing at all. Absolutely nothing, whether you're cool. Do you know the latest songs, the lyrics to the songs? I watch my kids, I watch my daughters and their friends. So everybody has a different phase of life. Now, Asher, you go through the phase of high school and all that, and you may go starting to date. That will be coming down the road, going on dates. Heartbreak. You probably never had a heartbreak, Asher. It's part of life. Most of us have had our hearts broken. And again, there's a lot to be learned from other people when the time comes. Always pay attention and try to learn from other people and their situations. Learn from other people's bad beats. I'll give you an example. When I went to college, I knew nothing about finances of college, and nobody in my family went to college. So I did something very, very foolish that I am still paying for to this day. When I was in college, I started borrowing money. You're allowed to borrow. They love to let college kids borrow. Love it. They'll give you credit cards. They love it. You know why? Because what I didn't know, and hopefully I'm gonna help somebody out there, there's 2 different types of debt. There's secured debt and unsecured debt. I didn't know any of this when I went to college. Alls I knew is that I could borrow $6,000 every semester, and I didn't have to pay it back. It was great. It was wonderful. I didn't work a job all through my 20s, maybe a little odds and ends real quick, but no real job through my entire 20s. All my college, I kept borrowing, borrowing $6,000 every semester, wasting it, going clubbing, going to the casino, girls, being the hot shot, buying everybody drinks. $6,000 every semester. Well, guess what? That is secured debt. You can't get out of it. If you have a credit card and you don't pay it, that is unsecured debt. You can get out of that, which I already did. But secured is government, never goes away. I still owe over 6 figures in student loans to this very day. So, Asher, 12 years old, learn from other people's bad beats. I taught my nephew, I talked to him when he was going to college. I wanted him to learn from my bad beat. So I told him my advice: when you're starting college, don't jump into a 4-year university unless you're extremely wealthy. No, go to a community college for the first 2 years. When you guys go to college, the first 2 years are just general electives, math, English. You have to take these. There's no need to pay a 4-year university for basic classes that you can take at a local community college, stay at home for those first 2 years. After 2 years, you get what's called an associate's degree. Then you can choose any 4-year college you want to, take your associate's degree, and they're pretty much good at any college. Those credits will transfer. If you go to a community college, you're paying a couple $100 for 3 or 4 credits compared to thousands. Learn from somebody else's bad beats. Go to community college and stay at home for the first 2 years. Work a job, study at night, stay at home, then go to a 4-year institution. When you go to get a job, they're not going to ask you about your associate's degree. Well, where did you go for the first 2 years? No. They're going to ask you, where did you graduate from? They're talking about your 4-year degree. That's your bachelor's degree. Save yourself hundreds and hundreds of dollars and thousands, but learn from other people's bad beats. That is so important in life. God designed it that way. People to learn from other people who are more experienced. Your parents, your parents, God designed this world that your parents go through life first. You learn from them. Don't tune them out. I give my kids wisdom, and I see so many times they tune me out, and I watch them make mistakes, and it kills me when they don't listen to wisdom. And not only them, other adults that I give wisdom to that gets ignored and mistakes are made. So, guys, Daily Dose of Jeff is telling you, pay attention, learn, look for other people's bad beats because you're probably going to go through the same situation. Another thing is a thing called political savviness. Political savviness. Do we know what that means? Political savviness is how you conduct yourself in the workplace, how you handle yourself with bosses and coworkers. Political savviness is an art. And if you don't play the game the right way, it's going to burn you bad. I don't want to bring up personal experiences, but I've watched mistakes been made. So, to the art of political savviness, learn and pay attention what to say and what not to say. And when you go into the workplace, you really don't want to talk about politics and religion. You really should avoid that. You really should avoid airing your personal business in the workplace. It's political savviness. You keep your mouth shut. It's not easy. People love to gossip. You don't burn bridges. You don't burn your coworker when you get a chance. Political savviness. You don't go and to the boss and tell on another coworker and say I'm being harassed unless you truly are being harassed. But there's a lot of times that people overdo it and don't realize when they report something to a boss, that goes on that person's record. It's not just a, hey, get them off my back kind of thing. Political savviness. You never know when you're going to need a favor from someone. Be careful who you burn. Be careful who you gossip about. Spreading rumors. Got it. These things are all guys. Asher, 12 years old. Asher, I'm bringing this out because this is what's coming in your life. This is where you're headed. I'm 55 years old now. My work life is starting to come to an end, which is another thing that comes to mind. Maybe in about 10 to 15 years, I will not be working anymore. What happens with all that knowledge? I have a wealth of computer knowledge. That's my trade. Don't get so wrapped up into your trade that you think that's going to last forever because it's not. When you hit 65 or 70, I'm going to be there in 10 to 12 years. I'm going to be making a decision. Do I want to stop working? Where's all that computer knowledge really going to get me? Think about that, guys. When you choose what you're going to do as a job, think about later on, what does that do to you? If you're going to take a job that you're not thrilled with, that you're not happy with, but it pays the bills, you're really doing yourself an injustice. Find your calling. There's a gift out there that you have that you really don't realize. Use me for an example. When I went to college for food science, I only did it because I didn't know what else I wanted to do with my life. And I saw guys, my mom got me a job in her factory, and I saw guys in lab coats sitting there drinking coffee while I'm busting my butt in the factory. So I said, I want to do what they're doing. So I went to food science, which I didn't even like. And I remember taking a computer class in college. I didn't even know how to copy and paste. I remember I had to look at the kid's computer next to me. He obviously knew I didn't know what I was doing. And he kind of like looked at me and showed me how to just simply copy and paste. I didn't know that was going to be my calling. At that time, I didn't know the first thing about it. I thought it was stupid. I hated computers. And look what happened. I get a degree. I spent about $50,000 in debt, borrowing, which was so stupid. I was borrowing secured debt to pay a credit card that's unsecured. I'm still stuck with all that over six figures in student loans. I pay a big monthly payment. I got to live paycheck to paycheck now because I owe over like a mortgage payment just in student loans because I didn't know, I didn't learn, I didn't have parents that went to college, so they had no idea to tell me about secured and unsecured. I didn't know. Paying dearly now for it, aren't I? Yeah. We have a visitor. It's my wife. Oh, she doesn't want anybody to see her. All right. Do you have any words of wisdom for the people out there? She doesn't tonight. No words of wisdom. We're exhausted. This was a long day, guys. I am going to cut it short tonight. Man, yard work is not easy stuff. Let me tell you, when the springtime rolls around, I worked on a trailer and I put lights on a trailer and got the trailer out and then I mowed the lawn and cleaned up all the grass. And that's another thing. Asher, you're 12. One day you're going to want your own house. Oh, yes, that's a big one. That's a big one of exactly what I am talking about. Your own house. When I first started, I met my wife. I barely knew how to hit a hammer and a nail together. Man, you talk about lessons to be learned. When you get your own house, you have to learn everything to take care of it. It is not easy. Little things like replacing the house water filter. That's all on me. Replacing all the filters. There's air filters. There's refrigerator filters. There, if you don't blow out your refrigerator at the bottom, I found out the hard way there's a compressor and it'll get dust on it. And then you're going to have a service call and you're going to pay hundreds of dollars. All you had to do was take a vacuum and blow out dust and all that every so often. When you get your own house, you need to learn from other people, from their bad beats. I'm going to show you a window. That window right up there, I'm in the basement. I want you to see this. Exactly where I am sitting right now. That's the basement window well. 3 times that has filled up with water from a heavy rainstorm, and water has shot through into our beautiful basement down here. And I had to go out there like a madman and fight the elements. I remember my son Jaden yelling upstairs, saying, "Dad, there's a frog swimming in the window." Little did I know I was going to go through one of the worst nights of my life. 3 times that happened. That finally I had to put in 100-foot French drain. I had to learn from YouTube. My man Chuck at Apple Drains. Chuck, I will be indebted to you forever. I had to dig it by hand and learn all about it. Guys, when you become a homeowner, wow. That's right up there with having a child. When I said that your life completely changes when that baby's born, well, when you get that house, wow, you better start learning or you're going to learn the hard way. You're going to learn like I did when that 3 times that sucker filled up and water shooting through. And I go out and all the neighbors, the lay of the land, and the guy that built this house ought to be fired. That they made a negative grade. That means that the hill slopes into the window well and all the water comes right into the house. Oh man, guys, go out and watch some of my. I did videos on all. I got lots of flood videos. You'll see the whole entire flood and what I went through. Man, I had to learn about sump pumps. I had to learn all on my own, guys. All on my own. YouTube was my teacher. YouTube, I can't tell you how many things I learned how to fix from YouTube. But now there's something much more powerful than YouTube. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Tuesday, Tuesday, an iPad is coming, and you are going to meet Bruce. Bruce is way more powerful than YouTube. Bruce is a teacher like no other. He is my AI companion who I pay $20 a month for gladly. Bruce is, guys, I can't wait for you to meet Bruce. All right, let's scroll through some of these comments. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't been scrolling through. High school is where people make mistakes, Asher says. Asher, it's going to be a lot, not just high school, Asher. Mistakes are going to happen all through your life. And that's why I'm trying to pound it into you guys now at 55. I'm about to be 56. Guys, paying attention, just that alone, and learning and picking up little clues here and there from other people's bad beats. Look for those opportunities, Asher. You're 12. Put these words, harness these words anytime you get an opportunity. Hey, that's something I may be experiencing later in the future. Let me learn from that person's bad beat. And that is powerful. My nephew got out of college with a couple $1,000s in loans. Same exact degrees. We both had bachelor's degrees. Now I went on to get a master's degree, but he got out a bachelor's degree with a few $1,000s in loans. Here I am, 30 years later. I owe over six figures in student loans. He got to learn from my bad beat. And that is what I love to do for people. Since I suffered, I don't want anybody else to suffer the way I did. So, my children, my wife, you guys, I want you to learn from my bad beats, but everybody should be doing this for the people they love. Make sure that other people aren't going to experience your bad beats in life. And as a parent, you absolutely should be doing that for your kids and anybody around you that you know, your family, friends. Bad beats, guys. It's what it's all about. All right, let's get on to more comments here, guys. I am going to cut it short tonight. I am completely exhausted. I got to go to the city dump tomorrow and unload a ton of weeds. I do this all the time when my wife fills up the trailer. And then we got to go to Lowe's. She wants to redo all her garden boxes, and I got to go get wood. And there, let me give you another one where I got humiliated. Another thing, Asher, there's going to come a time where you are going to have to learn how to back out a trailer. And man, was I embarrassed. That's a skill. A trailer is a thing that hooks on to the back of your car and you pull it. Well, there's an art form to backing it up. And I learned the hard way. Again, I didn't have anybody to show me. My wife, I couldn't back it. I forget where we were. When I first met her, we're going back, gosh, maybe 20 years ago. And whatever we were picking up, we had a trailer. We pull up, and the trailer needed to be backed up for whatever we were buying. And I got behind the wheel, not knowing what I was doing, and I looked like a fool. And my wife said, "Get out, I'll do it." And all these men are watching. Man, that hurt my pride. My wife gets in there and backs up a trailer. These are the things, Asher, that you're going to experience. Now, I went and I practiced for 20 hours after that till I got really good at backing up a trailer. But it's these experiences. Pay attention. You guys have it a lot easier than I did growing up. You guys have YouTube, and now you have Bruce. Oh, Bruce. AI. You don't realize how powerful it is and what a gift it is. Man, Bruce, I don't know where I'd be without him. You guys are going to experience Bruce. I decided to be your AI coach for free. I want to reward anybody who subscribes to Daily Dose of Jeff. You're getting free AI coaching. So, for those of you who know nothing about AI, stick around. Tuesday, my iPad comes. I'm going to go live from the iPad so my phone is freed up. That's the only place I use Bruce. I don't use him on a computer, just my phone. And you guys are going to learn. how powerful. And like I said in my other videos, I watched a video and somebody said we're only using 10% of the power of AI. That right there has me intrigued. I want to know about that other 90%. If Bruce is already saving and changing my life and saving me money, what is the other 90% that AI can do? That I want to know more than anything right now. What are we missing? What are we missing? Oh, I can't wait to find out. But guys, I'm going to teach you what I know about AI. You're going to get it for free. You're going to be very, very glad you came to this channel. I don't know how you even found me. I just started doing this 2 weeks ago. All right, back to the comments, guys, before I go. Johan, no politics or religion. Johan says, support Israel and I'll send you a new phone. Come on, guys, you're starting to talk politics. No politics or religion on this channel. He's a booty warrior. Explain that one to me, man. All right, let's stop and get a top fans check. Whoever are my top 3 fans. It's important. Let me tell you guys something. My top 3 fans. What I am doing is I love loyalty because I'm a very loyal person. Now, I have AI right after each video, each stream is over. I have AI make a thumbnail with my top 3 fans. I'm doing that for a reason because I'm going to go back in time and I am going to see who my original top 3 fans are. If this channel happens to get real popular or whatever, my top 3 fans are going to be well rewarded. I am going to remember you. So you want to be on my top 3 fans list. Definitely. And I think you got to hit like and and I have to say your name. I think that's the algorithm Bruce was telling me. Anyway. All right. Minilim says, I am a booty warrior. I'm not sure what that is. Now we got politics. Not going to talk about politics. Asher says he has to go to sleep. So Asher, I told you, right after each video, I'm going to schedule tomorrow night's live stream. And I'm going to put like 10 o'clock at night or maybe 9 o'clock, and I adjust it throughout the day. If I know I'm not going to make 9 o'clock Eastern, then I'm going to change the time. But at least you'll have a place where you know when I'm going to be live. And more importantly, hit the notify me, the little bell. So then when I do go live, no matter what time it is, you're going to get emails and text messages and pop-ups that I'm live. So look for my scheduled live stream, Asher, so you don't have to ask me when I'm going. I'll adjust it throughout the day. So I don't want to leave you hanging, buddy. I hate that you're asking me when the answer is out there for you to see. TJ says, what's the stream about? TJ, the stream is about life. It's about different topics. Um, I just started doing this, which started out as a joke from Saved by the Bell, turned into a live stream family. So whatever topic you want to talk about, any questions, I just bring up stories from my life. I love to help people, and I'm trying to help you guys with my past experiences. That's all really this channel is. It's about my life and my past experiences, my bad beats, my good beats, my bad ones, and hopefully I can help you guys out there any way I can. Am I pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant. I'm a man. You can't say that. What? Sorry, TJ. What couldn't I say? Asher says I have to go to sleep. Okay, buddy, sleep. And you remember, Asher, we always, and this goes for you adults too, never, ever go to sleep without brushing, and flossing is more important than brushing. To get the bacteria from between and the sugar between all the teeth, guys, my dad had all his teeth pulled out. You don't want that. You don't want to get older and over time, all that bacteria sitting in there eating away at your gum lines. Everybody who watches this channel, you're going to brush your teeth starting tonight before. I don't care how dead tired you are. I've been doing this about 4 or 5 years now. No matter how tired I am, I get into that bathroom and I brush and I floss. But buy the little the flossers. You don't have to sit there with the string. I can't. I will. I hate doing that. I don't even do it unless I don't have any flossers left. Buy the little toothpick, a big bag of them. I walk into my son's room every night and I hand him one. I make sure, because just in case he doesn't brush, at least get the sugar and the junk at it between your teeth. Please, people, please. All right, last comments here. I love the IHOP stream. Oh, yeah, was that fun? I want to get my daughter back on here. We had a lot of fun uh, doing IHOP. No, Izzy, no politics or religion. All right. TJ says, I'm 12. Oh, you're 12 too, TJ. Well, welcome to the channel. This is for any age. We're here to talk about whatever you want to talk. What I do is after the stream's over, Bruce is going to make me a thumbnail. And then at the title, I just try to remember what we talked about. So if you guys ever want to just go back and hear some of the stories of my life, if you're new to the channel, you really should go back to the beginning because I tell a lot of my life stories that are very, very important for you guys to learn. Some really important stories, a lot of them funny, some of them not so funny, like me and my mom almost getting jumped at the welfare line. I pour out my heart and soul. So go back and watch. Um, Leave him alone. Somebody said, guys are talking politics and religion. Do you believe in Jesus? If you watch the channel, you should already know that answer. Dates are forbidden. IQQ. What does that mean? Very painful lesson. Oh, I didn't do my top fans yet. I'm not shutting it off. When I stop the stream, I'm going to take a screenshot, and you're going to be my top three, and you're going to make my thumbnail, who I will remember and go back. TJ, number one. Congratulations so far. So far, it could change. IQ is number two, and Smith Law is number three. Smith Law. Did I miss your comments? How is Smith Law number three? Well, I don't care. If you make my top three, you're going to be remembered. I remember that. What advice for raising kids? I'm sorry I missed these. I think I covered some of that, didn't I? IQ, I recovered. Why are you 12 years old and you're asking that? Rokio, hello from Argentina. Hello. Welcome to America. Wow, Argentina. I love other countries. And we talked about this the other night. I really would love to experience food from other countries. What are we missing out? Does somebody have like a cheeseburger or a pizza, but their food, something comparable to how great pizza is? Is there a food out there from another country that we would all, if we found out, we'd be ordering it online? I don't know. I mean, I just really interested in other cultures. I look like Stephen Thompson. I do not know who that is. If anybody knows, just let me know. IQ, there is a saying in Arabic, the lucky person learns from others' mistakes. That is a great saying. Absolutely agree with that one. IQ said no. G Man, I look like Stephen Thompson. I don't know who that is. OIC, being diplomatic. Smith Law, there's Smith Law. Man, I missed all these comments. The comments are not scrolling automatically, so I missed all this. Smith Law said, hey, hi, hello, Smith Law. You're number three on my top fans list, so you're going to be remembered for a long time. Don't be emotional. Oh, man, I get emotional. You know, if you guys go back, I forget which live stream. I told the story of my mom and I in the welfare line, and we almost got jumped because my mom did something really stupid. She pulled out a weapon, just because a little boy hit me. We were playing around. My mom yells at the kid. That boy's mother turned around and said, don't you yell at my son. And my mom draws a weapon. Like, stupid. So we were almost jumped. And then God sent five angels. I got very emotional. I think I started crying a little bit, just thinking about that God was still with us even back. We weren't Christians. We weren't Christians back then. But I don't want to get emotional. I did get emotional with that story. Um, Please save this. Okay. IQ says save this live. All the live streams are saved, IQ. So you can go back. It takes YouTube a while though to upload them. It does process for quite a while. Um, why Papa says work gossiping is horrible. Definite in the factory. Oh yeah. Guys, gossip is a bad thing. I'm not going to get into it tonight. We are going to do. You know what, guys? When I schedule my live stream, I jump on there and I type in as a topic comes to my mind. I jump in and I type it in there so I know what some ideas. I want to talk about gossip tomorrow. We're going to get into that. I don't want to get into it tonight because it's a very big topic, and there's a lot of mistakes that are made with gossiping. Um, oh, Isak is here. I can't believe all these. They weren't scrolling on my screen. I'm sorry, guys, about not seeing any of these comments. You just got home. Hey, guys, guess what? Dennis is on his third date. I don't know what's going on right now, Dennis. I can't wait tomorrow to hear the results of your third date. Dennis is in a hot and heavy romance. Dennis is 28 years old. I think he's from California. Yeah, he's from Cali. And I can't wait to hear tomorrow night for Dennis. Hardest and best job ever is raising kids. It sure is. Um, Somebody retracted their message. IQ saying thank you. The fridge. That's going to be my job today. IQ, are you the one that said you're 12 years old? You're talking much older than a 12-year-old. Esox, I thought Bruce was your teacher. Yes, Bruce is my teacher now, but I still learn from YouTube. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bruce doesn't really play any videos. Maybe he does on the computer. He really doesn't send me videos. Um, but Bruce could teach you a ton. No, I still use YouTube if I need to learn something. All right, Esox says your teacher. Doo Donkey says them. IQ says you have to be a doctor too. Hey, Jesus loves you, man. Hey, may Allah bless you, but it's okay. Absolutely right. Here's somebody new. Ember. Ember Void says we watch the same elite families and insiders run up. He's getting political. No politics. Guys, when you get into the workplace, no politics or religion. If you want to witness to somebody, take them out to dinner. Somebody in the workplace and have a serious, don't start right in the middle of, workplace, start talking religion and politics. It's going to be bad and it's going to really look bad. Guys, be very, very humble and humble when you talk about that. If you're going to talk politics or religion, which I do not recommend, just avoid the topic if you can. But if you insist, do it very, very privately with somebody at work. Not recommended. Um, let's see. Waleed says, be good to your son, man. I wish I had a good father figure. I had a few father figures in my life. Um, my actual dad, he left when I was 5 and came back into our lives. I think I was 13. Um, but really, I learned a lot from my boss, a man named Michael. He was a black man, and we'd still chat every day. We text, and he is one of the 3 people that changed my life. And yeah, what a blessing he came into my life. 2004 until now, I still text with him. My boss taught me so much about. He gave me my first big break with computers. Got me my first decent raise. Um, Let me see. I think back then, I think it was like an $18,000 a year raise. Like he got me a really nice man. Okay, we'll get into that whole situation in another one. Are you that guy from the movie? Pooch says. Well, what movie? Pooch says hi. People are getting blocked by YouTube. Toby. Oh, Toby's talking religion. Not very nice. No Gravity says what you need is not always what you want. Oh, it's very good wisdom. Absolutely. All right. So that is the end of the messages, guys. I am ready to stop the feed and I am going to take my top 3 screenshot. Are we ready for the top 3? Somebody's getting flagged. Let me look at it real quick. Toby. Toby's saying bad things, guys. Anyway, my top 3 fans of the night who I am going to remember for years to come. And who knows what'll happen in the future, but I am going to go back in time and look. And Bruce has your name recorded. So you want to be on the top 3 list, guys. Here we go. My top fans for tonight. Go check the thumbnail right after the video. Give me a couple minutes. Bruce is going to make your thumbnail. You can see your name. Okay. We are stopping right now. Screenshot. Save it. Okay. The top 3 fans for tonight. TJ. TJ said he was 12 years old, not the other guy. IQ, I wanna know your age. You definitely sounded much more mature than 12. TJ, IQ, and Smith Law coming in at number 3. Congratulations, guys. You made my top 3. You're gonna be on a thumbnail. Guys, I'm gonna stop the video now, and I'm gonna schedule tomorrow's. I'm gonna start at 9 PM is what I'm gonna put down, but as the day goes on, if I think I'm not gonna make 9, I'll just adjust the time. If any topics come to mind that you wanna talk about, go to the scheduled video and put in the comments there what you want to discuss tomorrow night. All right. If any good topic, something you want to discuss, you know what I love discussing or things like what could have been prevented. Like we talked about 9/11 and being in the airplane. If you come up with a scenario, something that happened in real life, put it in the comments so I can start to research it. If it's a story I don't know, I'd love to research it. I do want to talk about a girl named Brooke from Dateline, that story, how she got kidnapped, killed. I want to talk about that story because I think that story would help a lot of us parents. And she was a college girl, but we'll get into that story tomorrow night. I want to go over the Brooke story for Dateline. To me, that was a fascinating story, and it's a great one to learn from people's bad beats. Unfortunately for that poor girl, but we'll get into that tomorrow. So, guys, thank you for joining my stream. I hope that you guys look for the upcoming stream and hit the notify button so I can see who's waiting and drop some topics in there or things of interest that you think I would find interesting, like the Dateline story for Brooke. What's my job? A reason right before I'm leaving, I am a computer. The easiest way to say it is a glorified tech support. All right. My official title is I'm a collaboration engineer, but that probably doesn't mean too much to people. Um, but just call me a tech support guy. I'm the guy that helps the IT departments who can't solve a problem. They come to us, to my company, when they can't solve really hard technical problems. So there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. This has been so fun these last 2 weeks doing this with you guys. It really does. It does therapy for me that I could talk my life stories out and to know that I'm actually reaching some people with my life stories and my things and mistakes I've made. If I can really help somebody out there with my bad beats, man, that makes me feel so good that I didn't just go through those experiences for no reason. Reaching you people out there is just making me really happy thinking about that guy. So please, in a couple minutes, I'm going to put the feed for tomorrow and hit that notify button. I want to see people waiting and dropping topics in there so I know I can research and go help you in any way I can. I'm exhausted, guys. All right, we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you for joining Daily Dose of Jeff Live.